Our next storyteller has been a tattoo artist for 24 years, and he is here to tell you a story called Through the Eye of the Needle. Please welcome to our 7-story stage, Robert Meyers. Robert Meyers.
Sorry, not used to a microphone. I'm Robert Meyers. I'm a tattoo artist.
Hi, Robert.
And this is how we see the world. There used to be an old show. I'm a little old. I'm 45. There was a show, and used to say there's 8 million stories in the naked city, and I like to think I see them all. I don't see people for the mask they put on the street. I thought once of doing a book of a series of coffee table books called Other People's Houses, and you see someone on the street, you see them at work, and you see a mask, you see one facet of this beautiful, wonderful gem that reflects so much light. And the fact is, when you go to someone's house, you see their photos, you see their grief, their joy, the movies they watch, the books they read, pictures of their children, picture of their past relatives. And it's the same thing as a tattoo artist. Let me backtrack a little. I didn't get into art through tattooing. I got into tattooing through art. In my junior year of art school, beginning of the junior year, I signed a really good contract with a really good agency. And they paid for all my school. I was early 20s, had, $140,000 in my pocket, and worked in the fine art world for the last 2 years of school long enough to realize I hated the fine art world. And the reason was, art to me always has been, always should be a visual communication of emotion. It should not be an investment. It should not be something that matches the wallpaper, matches the drapes, and ties the room together. It should be something that moves you on some level. And I thought a tattoo, that's never an investment. And it's also selfless. It's never, ever owned by the artist. You look at the Mona Lisa, very few people can tell you where it's at or even who owns it. But they can all tell you who did it. So 500 years later, Leonardo da Vinci still owns that piece. But a tattoo, man, no matter how much heart and soul I put into that, no matter how long we consult, how many times I do the drawing, how many modifications I might make, the minute I walk out, that belongs to the person. And that's their tattoo. And it means something to them. And as such, I have to talk to them and get into them and see the multiple facets, like I'm walking through their house. So when someone says, I want a panther, I'm like, what kind of panther? What kind of panther? And they're like, just a panther. It means 0. Fuck all of me. So I start with the same 2 questions with everybody. Where are you from and what kind of work do you do? And their whole life story falls out. And somehow, the most wonderful thing, it could be a stoic panther, a wise panther, a ferocious panther, a panther who hates women but loves men secretly. It could be any number of these things. But I get to be a conduit for these thoughts and emotions, for all these beautiful layers and colors that flow out of people, flow through me and out through my hands. And that's wonderful. That's a part of me that they see, and that's the part of me that they remember. And it feels pretty damn good. Socially, circadian rhythms are fucked. So I have clients that you start in this industry in these street shops, and you're hoping one day, I'm booked for months and all this, and I want to be in these magazines and get these trophies and what have you, until it happens, and then you realize, man, I have clients, some 9 in the morning, because third shift people love tattoos. Service industry, they love tattoos. So I have some people, they don't get off till 11 at night. I have others who don't get off till 8 in the morning. And you know what? I have to be there and fresh for both of them. So the fact is, circadian rhythms, fuck, I sleep when I can. Conventions, you see all the prizes, you see all the magazines. It's not why we do conventions. Every place has its own, I don't think I know the word in English, but onda. It has its own rollo, it has its own vibe. And when I go to Seattle or I go to New Hampshire, I go to LA, LA has a dirty, rotten vibe that won't die though. Seattle has this nice flowing vibe that will get stoned with you and talk to you for fucking hours about bullshit. New Hampshire, it has a wannabe Boston vibe, but a little more woodsy. And this shows in the artwork that people want. And so we go there, not for any of the reasons you'd think, but just for the people, to see the different art, to talk to different artists. It's hard to hold a relationship. Most tattoo artists I know, even my age, maybe a couple marriages under their belt. I can tell you honestly, the majority of my relationships have been paid for in 20-minute increments. And it's worked for me. I know artists who've gone the other way. I work with a guy that I'm pretty sure is responsible for more single mothers in, say, World War II. But every time I go into work, or even I sit down at my drawing table and I look at these people, and I look at them not through the mask they wear every day, not through the clothing, their haircuts, the clothes that might change, not even how they'd identify themselves as I'm from the fucking Bronx, or I grew up here, or I'm an engineer, or I'm this. No, to me, you're a fucking full human being. And I see it through this, that, the other. I see it through the stoic panther, the wise panther, panther that hates women and secretly hates men. You guys have a good night. Thank you.